Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in for Fall Back and Relax Kids. We are here with Chandra from Simplified Celebrations, and she will go ahead and walk us through a step-by-step tutorial on how to make your own fall wreath. Chandra, would you like to introduce yourself, tell the students a little bit about yourself and what we'll be doing today?
Perfect. Well, thanks for having me. I own a small business in Richland called Simplified Celebrations, and we focus on weddings and events. And we also teach classes at wineries and breweries called Sips and Stems. So this is a fun little transition. We normally work with all fresh flowers, so this is great for me to even work with all these permanent blooms too. So I'm excited. We're gonna start with you guys taking a look at the demo.
Man, this looks beautiful. That's gorgeous. Guys, shopping for this was so much fun. I was at Hobby Lobby getting a bunch of flowers. My cart was full. I was having the best time. I do want to remind you guys really quick before we get started. Please go ahead and after you're done with this, submit it and tag @WC Tri-Cities, and also submit that survey for a chance to win $50 of home decor. Also, yes, very fun. Also tune in on November 3rd for Stay Fit Kids. That'll be really fun as well. And yeah, let's get started.
Okay, hopefully everybody has gotten their glue gun out of the packaging. If you haven't, go ahead and do so and get it plugged in. These are just mini high temp glue guns, but they do take a little bit of time to warm up. So once you plug it in, go ahead and get a glue stick in there and get it started. And make sure that this is the part that obviously gets really hot. Set it on a plate or something, not wood, so that you're not burning a hole through something that you shouldn't.
I hate to admit that I've done that before. So
and
then with carpet as well.
And the first time you get a hot glue gun will be your last time. A hot glue gun burn will be your last time because it's excruciating, and of course it's glue, so it sticks to your finger. Okay, so everybody has different stems that you're going to work with, but let's just go through kind of what's in your kit. When you take it out, you'll have some different fall leaves, some focal floral, like we have sunflowers in this one. Afterthought on the clippers and scissors. Yes. So I know that you guys are, it was said to have scissors.
Yes, right? To have scissors prior, but I didn't specify to get pliers because these are pretty thick pliers.
So my demo one that I didn't need anything but scissors, but if you have some of the impact blooms like this with the heavier gauge wire, you'll definitely need to find yourself a pair of actual wire cutters so that you can clip those off. Because the stem is a little bit long, but I also like to use the regular leaves, which these will clip off with just scissors. So try to use all of your stems in this, and that'll give you the variation between the fall and the green leaves too. And then you should have like a little textural berry stem too. And then as far as the dried stuff goes, you have 2 pine cones and a lotus pod. No stem on that one, and then a bundle of, this is all bearded wheat, and I took and cut off some of the beards on mine, and I left some of them long, so I think a mixture of that looks really nice texturally. So let's go ahead and get started. This particular wreath is a grapevine base, so it's already formed out. You don't have to make any adjustments to it. None of them are perfectly circular, like this one is clearly an oval. So you're going to want to take a look at your wreath and decide where your top is and where you're going to hang it.
When we got these, they even came with like with leaves and everything, because they use like real grapevine. Yeah, they used real grapevine, and it felt very real, very authentic. Like the whole box just had a bunch of leaves.
Well, I'm sure they're usually kind of a mess. Sometimes I even take and will break down the stems just a little bit to get it. Yeah, nice. This one isn't that horrible, but you guys can just kind of decide where you want to hang it. And then usually there's larger grapevines, so this will be like where I hang it on an actual nail or hook. So I want that on the back side of my wreath, so I'm just going to lay that down. And we're kind of doing this asymmetrically, so it's not going all the way around all the florals and greens.
But I'm sorry, Chandra, if I could interrupt you. So do you recommend any kind of hooks, or do you think any hook would work for this?
Yeah.
something like one of those like thick ones that you put in the wall, or do you recommend like a nail?
I usually do command hooks
Command
because
hooks,
you can
that's-
always take them off.
Yeah.
If you're gonna hang this outside, this is something we were talking about earlier. Sometimes glue, like hot glue, is not amazing in the like frigid weather. It'll make things fall off your wreath, especially if it's on an outside door where you're slamming the door shut all the time.
Yeah.
So I would say put this like on a pantry door or an inside door and see how it fares. If you feel like things are really glued on good, then test it outside.
Yeah.
But sometimes hot glue doesn't quite work very well. But command hooks or those wreath hangers over the door wreath hangers are great ways to hang them up.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so let's pull out some of your fall leaves here.
So great. When I went to Michael's and then I went to Hobby Lobby, and you should have seen the look on people's faces. Everybody kept asking me where I worked and what I was doing, and I'm gonna
I
start
bet.
lying to people and telling them all kinds of crazy things.
Right.
Instead of that I work for WSU Tri-Cities. Like, oh, what are those flowers for?
Putting on a huge gala. and
Yeah, just
decorating the whole
in my
thing.
backyard for myself because can't have anybody over.
Right. Okay, so I would just break these up. If you can leave them on a main stem, it even helps just to kind of weave them into your grapevine. But everything you put into your grapevine, always put a little bit of glue on it. That'll help kind of secure it. But I'm just gonna break down these stems first. It makes it easier. And if you're like me, I kind of like to have a game plan in place instead of just winging it. So before I take the glue, I kind of like to have an idea of where I'm putting things so you can have kind of a map.
Not have too much in one area and not
Yeah.
in the other.
And like you guys make these your own. If you want to go all the way around, maybe we will on this one. We'll go all the way around the wreath and then focus on down here a little different.
And you guys are also welcome to visit, your local craft stores and buy your own flowers and make your own version. You can do winter themed, you can do spring, summer, anything you like.
Oh. Let's break this one down too.
I love how the yellow one came out. That is so pretty.
Yeah, and that one didn't even have any of the sunflowers in it or the berries. So
Yeah.
I think you can kind of, the good thing about a grapevine wreath is it's pretty already. So you're just adding
Oh yeah.
some
You
stuff
just
on
have
there.
it by itself and just look
Yeah.
beautiful. How's everybody doing over there, Evelyn? I also want to go ahead and introduce my handy dandy partner, Evelyn, who's been with me through all of these. She's been doing great with the backstage stuff. How's everybody doing over there?
Good.
All right. Okay, I think we almost
There
had this.
we go.
Hopefully you guys don't have problems with your scissors. One thing I forgot to tell you about. And then let's go ahead and just break these down while we're at it, and then we'll be done with this part.
The sunflowers are my favorite. They're so
These
beautiful.
are really pretty.
And I just got back from the sunflower field.
Oh, where
And-
did you go?
I went to Middleton Farms.
That's right.
Yeah, and they
This
have
is so
beautiful
close to you.
sunflowers. I was like, I'll get some sunflowers for everybody, have them enjoy, and
Yeah,
it's real pretty.
perfect. Okay. So now that you have a great big mess, you can kind of pull this stuff out. While you're kind of played designing it before you do anything final, think where you want your bow. If you want it like trailing up the side or down at the bottom. That's how we did our demo one. We did it down at the bottom, or you can have it up top. So kind of keep that in mind so you don't put a bunch of stuff in that spot. Leave a void where you think you want that bow.
So it doesn't block the other flowers and stuff.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna start. And all you have to do is just put a little bit of glue on the ends of your stems
Okay.
and start weaving them through that grapevine.
Oh, nice. And it helps keep them in place a little bit and
Yeah, especially if you do end up
putting
putting
it
this-
outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, for Guys, for Halloween, I had my balcony decorated, and the wind just started knocking down all of my witches and ghosts one by one. And now I only have one ghost standing, and it's the only one towards the
last
corner.
man.
Yeah, the last man standing.
He only has to make it till Saturday, so.
So we're almost there.
Right.
So make sure you put some glue on that if you're gonna put it outside, so that it doesn't fly away all of a sudden, and your neighbor has to hear beautiful wreath next thing you
Right.
know. I love these as well.
The berries
The
are
berry
a
ones,
good
yeah.
contrast, especially because they have that purple
Yeah.
tone and
Post fall.
yeah. So I'm gonna kind of mimic a little bit on each side, not that you
Okay.
have to. Just feels right with this set of goodies.
Yeah.
You can always lift up on the outside here. Yeah, and this leaf right here is kind of wrinkled, so I'm just gonna add some glue to the backside and spread it out. When you're done, you'll get all those like hot glue spider webs off.
And because these are silk flowers, you have a little bit more room to put glue behind them and not
Uh-huh.
have to worry about
Yep.
the leaf breaking. So
Yeah. And don't worry, you're gonna burn yourself on the glue. It just happens every
they're just
time.
you get the fun sticky fingers that you can just
Yeah.
peel off later. We all remember
Just
the middle
happens.
school days to put glue like on our hands and peel it off.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Rubber cement.
right.
Those were the good days.
Oh yeah.
I love that hot glue gun technique.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It makes it easier than just having the entire stem just glued
Yes.
everywhere. Every time we've done these, every student just shows me how to do something like a different way, and I'm like, wow, I should have came up with that myself. Like,
So I typically, this is funny because I don't use a glue gun. We, in our industry, we have a pan of glue that just sits there and is hot all the time.
oh,
So what we do is like a dip technique, but what happens is you have like from your glue pot, you have all these threads.
Yeah.
So I actually prefer a gun now because I can kind of wrap it around there.
Yeah.
That's quite the mess. Okay, and I kind of like to get on the inside of your wreath too. You notice my
Yes,
other
that's it.
one? It's a little bare on the inside.
Give it a little volume all around.
Yeah.
After this, guys, we'll also go ahead and walk you in how to do your spider web on your pumpkins, and just show you a technique on how to do that. And you're welcome to decorate it any way you like, but just get the whole fall experience.
Yeah. Add some spiders.
Yeah. Oh, it's looking nice. Coming along together. I like the way it looks just all around too. Just
Yeah, and don't feel like you have to use all of your leaves at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of hold off and
fill it up as it goes.
yeah, you might not need every single leaf.
Oh, the flowers are coming. Oh, that's beautiful. It really makes a difference. Wow.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna do like a cluster.
And I'm sorry, Chandra, how long did you say you've been doing this for?
I'm an old maid in this industry. I am going into my 13th year of designing, and
I
I
just love it. I love everything about this industry. I
do. I think you have to love it,
Yeah.
or you will never make it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You have to really have passion for the craft.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel fortunate because I don't do like retail floral. I deal with people on their most memorable days.
Yeah. So they would have a good experience
Yeah,
all the
so,
time.
I don't have to do a lot of funeral work. I do it for just past clients that I know. That sometimes is like the hardest kind of floral work is when people come to you and they're in mourning and that's a harder job. Like I definitely admire
So they don't
florists.
really want to do it, but they have to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or they'll start talking, you want to ask them like, what would grandma want? You know, it's
Yeah.
like funeral flowers or whatever, and then they get emotional, and you're like, I can't even do this.
But for weddings, it's like, oh, what's the dream wedding
Yeah.
like? And they get all excited and
I get people on their most excited day, so
Oh,
that's
good.
exciting. Yes, if you have somebody with you today
there
that
you
will
go.
feed your glue
Good
sticks,
assistant.
even
There we
better.
go. Oh,
There we go. And this glue will dry really fast too, especially on your pine cones. So try to get your glue on the actual like prongs instead of inside there. So that
on the
it'll-
prongs.
yeah, on the actual, is that what they're called?
I
Pine
think so,
cone
yeah.
prongs. I
Yeah.
don't know. The part that's hurts.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, we can hold that down.
Yeah, that would be
There we
great.
go. If you have an assistant next to you, this is also a very great
Right.
job.
Everybody should have
So,
Fall wreath making.
yeah, if
assistant.
anybody has anybody on the side, this is what you could be doing. Just push down the glue gun with the other hand. And just,
When I'm usually here by myself, so I just use my mouth.
yeah.
Not
yeah.
very COVID friendly. I think I'm going to put that right there.
Oh, great. I had never.
What is that? This is a lotus pod. I know. It's
I didn't
really
know the
weird.
difference between a lotus flower and a lotus pod. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that at all.
Really odd, but we use them I only use them in fall designs too.
Yeah.
And some people are like, they either like that or they're like, that is the grossest thing I've ever seen.
I think it looks like a
thought it was a
honeycomb.
hornet's nest. Like the first time I
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that is a big bee nest.
Yeah, I thought it looked like
They're
a bee
so
nest,
weird.
like a hornet
Anything
nest.
to do with that.
Yes. Very strange. Let's see, where should we put this other thing?
Oh, yeah, there's some
Maybe right up here. And if you find that your pine cones aren't sticking after a few days with the glue, you have a piece of wire, you can always wire them in too, especially if you're gonna put this on an outside door where it's getting slammed a lot.
And if you have a little extra wire, you can also build your own little spider and put it on your pumpkin, and then you have your whole,
Yeah,
you have the whole set. Would you recommend like wiring in the flowers as well, maybe like with the stem, or do those stay
I
pretty?
usually have pretty good luck just wedging them into the actual grapevine and having
And then
glue
with
on
the
them.
glue, it helps
Mhm.
keep them in there.
But yeah, I mean, if there's some people that absolutely hate hot glue, and I get it because it's kind of a pain, you can wire an entire wreath. And for Christmas, when we use fresh holiday greens, we do a lot more wiring
Okay.
because we pretty much know they're going on an outside door, and
Yeah.
we don't want that temperature of the hot glue to affect it.
Yeah.
So like all the ornaments are wired and all the greenery is wired, and we use very little glue, in
Oh,
fact.
how beautiful would that look with ornaments for.
Yeah, we do lots of stuff like that,
Gorgeous.
yeah.
I was just at the store today again buying stuff for So Easy Kit, which is November 9th. Come check it out. And there were just Christmas stuff everywhere, just all the flowers and all the pretty colors, and anywhere there's lights and colors, I'm there. So
Pretty. Okay, so I think I'm happy with the way this looks right
that is
now.
looking beautiful.
I forget, this probably has an
That's
overhead.
gorgeous.
You got
view,
a
right?
straight arm and you got the table too. So
Sweet.
Oh, beautiful.
So
That's
I'm gonna go
gorgeous.
ahead and hold off until I get my bow and the wheat in there, and then I might need to fill in afterwards, but I don't like to go over the top and then feel like I have.
Too much.
So
Yeah.
let's spin that around a little bit so we can see all the different angles on the camera
Okay,
and kind of, there you go, you do all that.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
and if you do find some spots where you've like over glued, that's where we're gonna hit the wheat first, so that
Okay.
we can cover up what I say like some mechanics.
Yeah.
So you don't see that stuff. So just kind of take note of those areas that you're like, that doesn't look amazing.
And use the wheat to cover those up.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So let's move on to that part.
For the wheat, are you gonna cut some of the stems of the wheat, or are you gonna leave
Yes,
them long?
actually, we're gonna cut all of them.
Oh, nice. You can use scissors, regular scissors for
Yes.
these, you know, but
Regular scissors. I hope nobody's
Yeah.
struggling horribly.
yeah, and I
with their
apologize.
stem.
I apologize, you know. Just lack of knowledge in my end, but I will do better next time.
And complacency on mine, because I assume everybody has scissors and wire cutters. and all
Right?
that
Who
stuff.
wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
I know. Okay, so when it comes to the wheat, it looks better when you grab a bundle of it. It'll be more impactful in your design. And it does, you know, like flowers, they don't grow just one stem, they grow in bundles. So
I noticed that you cut it diagonal. Is there a reason for that?
I just am probably habitually doing that because that's how we cut flowers that are fresh, is at that angle.
Okay.
And it also will give you a little bit more of a point to shove into the actual
Gotcha.
wreath. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to do that at all.
Little tip for everybody out there to, just cut it at an angle.
Yeah. And then we're just gonna get some glue on there. And then I'm gonna go for the spot over here that I saw first off.
Oh, I love that every time she adds something, it just gives it a whole new face to the wreath and it just starts coming into life.
Yeah, and then I kind of like to take your bundles and stagger them so you don't have them all like clustered like this. You'll want like the smallest piece out, just like it grows in nature, and then stagger it down a little bit. There we go. And then the next little group that we're going to do, we're going to shave off some of those the beards of the wheat.
Of the wheat. Okay.
In there, you can kind of pull some of them out before the glue sets.
Give it a little personality.
Yeah. So these ones, let's go ahead. I'm just going to do this the way I just take each one of them and kind of angle my scissors.
Give it a little bit of a haircut.
Yeah. It's not No Shave November yet. We're just going to shave the bearded wheat.
That's looking awesome.
I'll do a couple more pieces.
When I was buying this, I was wearing a black wool sweater. So fun fact, little tip for you guys, don't carry a bunch of wheat when you have a sweater, a black wool sweater on, because you will spend the next 8 hours driving around delivering kids itchy, like I did. Again, I do it so you don't have to. That's like my new go-to line because man, was I struggling.
I bet.
That was tough, and it was a hot day too, and I was just not having it. That same day I left from the airport as well, and it was just
how fun.
The things I do for you guys. This is the effort, the sacrifice I put in for my students.
Can you go over how you glued the pine cones again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that I don't have one to show you, you're just going to put the glue on the actual prongs themselves instead of trying to get glue down in there because it won't catch onto the actual wreath.
So whatever's touching the actual wreath,
yeah,
put that on the...
exactly. And it does help to kind of hold it there in place. And you might even, once you get it on there, add a little bit more so that you have some of those glue pieces just drizzling off and catching the actual grapevine. So if you're struggling getting those pine cones to stick, take a little bit more time with them. I know when I did my demo, I was talking to somebody when I was doing it, and I stood there with the pine cone in my hand and the glue. This glue dries really fast, so I ended up having to add more glue, and so you might have to do the same.
There we go.
Okay, so those pieces that we shaved down, I'm going to add those in smaller clusters, so like 2s and 3s instead of like 5 bundle. You know, I had like 5
and
stems.
2s and 3s instead of the 5s.
Yeah, and I typically do odd numbers just because that's what we were all taught in design, but
oh, really?
don't feel like you have to.
They teach you to do odd numbers?
Yeah, so like 3 roses and yeah.
Oh, I guess it just looks more
Yeah,
There's
you
more
just-
variety than just doing like
Mhm.
even numbers all throughout.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So let's get a few of these down in here.
Oh wow, the shaped look really, really
a little
makes it look
different, huh?
Yeah. Gives it just like, some long ones, some short ones. Very
Yeah.
nice.
And some people don't like this on it anyway.
Mm.
If you're kind of type A, that seems really messy, and you can shave them all down if you want.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I like when
Too much
everything just looks
texture.
like, yeah.
You're like, I can't do that. If you
It's just
are-
really satisfying when everything just looks like even
Very
and just like,
symmetrical.
yeah, very symmetrical all around. But I do have to say, although I love the idea behind like a minimalist kind of look and a home and everything, I'm personally more of a maximalist. The more the better, the more color, the more things. My bathroom is like all pink. There's just things all over. But it looks good, like
Yeah,
I make it work.
It's a cohesive maximum.
It's a cohesive maximalist. Yeah, everything makes sense, but there's too much of it.
Right. It's not a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
It's just very full.
I told my mom eventually I'm gonna, my house is gonna look like a grown-up's house, but
Right.
until I graduate college, then it's all fun from here.
Right. The real adulting begins.
Yeah. Just enjoy it, When I was little, I was like, oh, I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait to do this. And now that I'm here,
It's a
I'm like,
trap.
oh, I want to be 12 again. This is
trap.
not fun. How do I make it stop?
Just kidding.
And the days just pass me by, and I'm like, oh man, when I was 12, life was so much easier. And I didn't appreciate it back then. I wanted to be a grown up.
You didn't appreciate naps, and now you're
Right.
like, all I want is a nap. All I want is somebody to make my food for me again.
Right. All I have to really worry about was like my multiplication tables at school, and
Right.
yeah, and who I was gonna sit up with lunch. But oh, these are fun, like the leaves from sunflowers.
Yeah, that kind of breaks it
Give
up a little
life.
bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pump the brakes on some of these items just because I think it's kind of filling out, and we still have a bow left
Yeah.
and some wheat. So I'm gonna show everybody how to take this ribbon and make it into a bow really quick. You're gonna cut off probably 6 to 8 inches of one end, and that's gonna be what you tie off your bow. So just
And that cut, you make a straight cut?
I do,
or
yeah.
you-
on this one, we're gonna make a straight cut. And then at the ends of the bow, we're gonna dog ear those when we're done.
Gotcha. Dog ear. Nice.
Yeah, so this will be the most part where you have to like actually pay attention. 'Cause-
Okay.
And nobody gets bows on the first time.
So everybody
I
listen up.
will demonstrate this.
Look up at your camera.
Yeah, you're probably still adding things to your wreath. Just take a minute and grab your ribbon. This isn't a huge bow. There's only 2 loops on each side, so it shouldn't take you that long. So you're just going to use your left hand and make that center loop, and you're holding it with your thumb and pointer finger, and you're just turning one side and flipping it over.
One twist.
One twist under your finger, and then you grab it. Is this showing very well?
Yep.
Okay,
If you want it on the top down, scoot a little forward.
okay. Just like that. And then under your finger again, you're twisting it.
Okay. One twist as well.
And then you're just making another equal loop like that.
Oh, easy.
And that's all you're doing is the twist is always on the back side under your finger, and you're grabbing it.
Does the direction
I
of the
missed that.
twist matter?
Can you do it again?
Yes. It's the hardest part, I promise. In most of my classes, people are like, just make the bow for me. So cut off your little tie.
Okay.
And sometimes we use wire. This would have been another wire instance where I forgot to tell you a supply that I normally just have laying around, and but we're- ribbon
everybody
works.
has wired at home, don't they? I know I do. It's just
paper clip, whatever. Okay, so take your center loop
okay.
like so. Pointer finger and thumb are holding it. Twist, loop, twist, loop. So that has your center part. You just have 2 loops and a center. And you're just going to do the same exact thing. Only bring that loop out a little bit further.
Oh, nice.
And then do it again on the other side.
Perfect. And you guys, if you need to go ahead and rewatch this over and over again, it is going to be posted on YouTube as well, so you can go over the steps as many times as you'd like. And we also have our other Cougpacks posted on there, so you can always check us out.
Perfect. So the last part is you're just gonna leave this, you're gonna take, you only have 2 loops on each side. One is off to this side. You're gonna bring this whole thing up and do it right under your thumb that's been holding that middle part. You're just gonna hold it like that, so you have a big loop, and take this chunk that you cut off
Through the first loop at the very top.
through your center of your bow. And then make sure that it catches all those pieces and tie it. Just do like a little knot back there.
And if you're not able to tie it, does hot gluing it also work, or
It might work, but you're gonna want,
twisting it?
this doesn't have a high enough gauge wire and
Okay.
actual ribbon. So just do 1 knot.
Okay.
So then it has this that you're gonna cut, and that's your tails.
Oh, perfect. There we go.
So then you just take it and shape it so that your tails.
I had never made a bow like that before, so I'm excited to try it
Yeah.
at home.
So this is the way I was taught. I know there's lots of other ways,
Very nice.
but this seems to be the easiest for people to catch on.
Yeah.
And this particular ribbon is the same on each side, but a lot of times ribbon has like a design on one side or a matte finish on one side and this shiny finish. So that's why the twisting is important. It's not super important on this ribbon because it is the same on both sides, but to get into that habit so that you always have one side, you know, facing out.
Yeah.
So I just teach it that way regardless.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll just have like a little knot back there, and then you can decide where you want to put it on your wreath. You want it up top or at the bottom.
Nice.
And then I like to fold the tails,
Okay.
and then you just take and cut that.
Perfect. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm gonna start just making bows all around. That's
Right?
gorgeous.
It's time for the holidays.
Yeah.
right?
Everybody's just getting a nice, beautiful bow for Christmas.
And then just put a bunch of glue on the back of your bow.
There we go. Yeah, like looks like.
I think so. We're almost
There
out.
we go.
Okay.
And just press it on there for a couple seconds.
Yes, it should stick after just a bit.
Oh wow, that's looking real pretty.
And this is where you're gonna wanna probably just kind of hang it up. Sometimes perspective helps. So after your glue is dry on your bow, I definitely recommend walking away from it because you're looking at a different angle. So if you can hang it up and then look back, you'll see gaps. And then that's why we kind of keep a pile off to the side so that you don't just smatter it and then realize, oh, I don't, you know, I have to
The
pull that out
importance
now.
of planning ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
nice, there we go.
Oh, no,
Oh, it's still
too
a
early,
little bit.
too early. Make sure that
Hold
maybe,
it for you.
let's see.
We can put it to the side to dry while we do the pumpkin too and see how
Yeah, that's perfect.
that works. There we go. I got
There we
the
go.
glue assistant. It's not assisting very well. There we go.
Okay, so let's set this off to the side. Let that ribbon, sometimes you kind of.
So before you pick it up to see what else is missing, make sure that everything else is dried off so that it doesn't fall off.
Yes.
And we're gonna move on over to our pumpkin, so you can just put that to the side while.
Yeah,
Oh
right there.
guys, this is beautiful. This looks awesome. Put this over here.
And
Look
here,
at that.
this is just one that I did earlier with the puppy paint, so it's totally dry. Just be careful, this stuff doesn't come off really easy. You have to kind of like take a knife to
Scrape
it
it
or
off.
something, so.
So be careful you don't drop it on any floors.
Right, or just put newspaper down or
Tables.
something. Super easy. You just take your pumpkin and you're gonna find the lines that are naturally growing in it. And that's gonna be your guideline for the paint. And I think everybody has different colors, right?
Yes, yes, different colors for everybody because Michael's Hobby Lobby.
You bought them all
Yeah,
out.
I bought them all out. I
I did
took everything they had out of their rack.
Yeah, so really easy. You're just gonna take, and black will show up probably better on camera, so we'll do the black again. And just go down the line. You don't want to put too much pressure on the paint because this will run.
Mm.
So try to do just like a steady,
Does
small.
it dry pretty fast, you said, or does it take some time to dry?
This one takes a little bit of time to dry, and that's
Okay.
why the first line that I did, for some reason, this was a little bit under pressure.
Mm.
And so I wiped it off and just tried it again. So if you feel like it's just running down your pumpkin, that's way too much. So just wipe it off with a paper
Just a
towel.
little less pressure.
Yeah.
Mm.
It says it takes 72 hours to completely dry.
Mm.
This one I did this morning, and when I came in tonight, it was dry. So I'm sure.
Don't let it lay next to anything that you don't want black puffy paint on.
Yeah. And you don't need to go all the way down.
And you're also welcome to do any kind of design that you like. This is just, a little, if you like to make this, but you can get creative, show us your best creations on Instagram. Remember guys, that to show your creations of our wreath on Instagram, tag us and also participate in the survey so that you can enter the $50 giveaway.
I would love to be tagged on Flower Money just so I can see what you guys made.
Yes, send us
I'll
send us
share it.
all of your stuff.
Yeah, so our Instagram is not our business name.
Yeah, I looked up simplified
I know.
celebrations,
This
but
is usually everybody asks this. Apparently I joined Instagram back in Vietnam when you could not have a username that was as long as Simplified Celebrations, which is kind of a long business name. So I had to shorten it, and I'm like, what? I don't know what to do. I'm not going to be able to shorten my business name. Like, do I call it Simple Celebrations? I'm like trying to figure this out.
celebrations itself is a pretty big word.
It really is. And then of course I add simplified on it, and it's not simplified at all. So yeah, Flower Money. I started my business all cash, and I use the Dave Ramsey system for my own budgeting.
Nice.
I feel like that as college students, everybody should read Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
Everybody should do it.
Yeah.
Graduate college debt free. Please do it for
Yes.
your kids, for everybody. So I did that with my business, and I had an envelope, and it was labeled Flower Money, and so I've just carried that on.
Oh, nice.
And
So
I've
Flower
never-
Money tag also, just show them,
Yeah,
show us what you got, show us what you did.
yeah. So that's why.
Yeah, go ahead and text WSU Flower Money so that Chandra can see. You can also check out our sub page and it'll be there where we post
Yeah.
off our students and
I would love to see everybody's wreaths.
yeah.
So I'm not going to do this whole pumpkin.
Yeah,
You
you
guys
guys
get
takes
the
a while.
So after you have a couple, you just do half moons, and then once you repeat all the way around, you'll see it turns into the web.
Nice.
So
And if you're really artsy, you can add maybe like your own spiders with a puffy paint or
yeah, that's
little
really cute.
bats, little ghosts.
You
Anything you
guys
like.
already have a glue gun. Go
Yeah.
nuts.
Get creative, get crazy. Add some flowers in there, some wheat, some
Yeah.
use anything and everything you got.
If you're into dried petals, you can always just water down some like regular Elmer's glue and Mod Podge a pumpkin. Those are really fun.
Ooh.
Um,
And put it on the petals and put it on the pumpkin. Very cool.
We did punculents. We've done lots of punculant classes.
Succulents, yeah.
So, and there's some up there that are done. You
Oh,
just add
nice.
actual succulents to a pumpkin,
Pretty.
and they're just pinned right on. You don't even have to carve them.
Yeah. Is it okay if I show them?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, these are beautiful. And Chandra, where can our students find you so that they can also look at this, guys? This is beautiful. Where can they find you so that they can also make these with you?
We're done with our punculent classes
Okay.
for the year,
All right.
unfortunately. But our Instagram, we also put all of our classes on there.
Oh, nice.
Under our highlights tab that says Sips and Stems, You can look at all the rest of the classes that we have for the year.
Oh, fun. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? You can make things
Yeah.
together like this, like all year long.
And these are great because you don't have to carve the pumpkin at all. You just take these and they're just pinned in. So
Oh, nice.
there's
Easy
kind of,
peasy.
yeah, a root ball, and then you just take moss and moss it in. And that kind of
Okay.
protects those roots. And then we had, some chunks of pampas grass and bleached material that we just glued in there. So
Yeah, looks
yeah.
awesome. Well, you guys make sure to check out, her Instagram and her. So how's this going? Oh, that looks really cool.
yeah, and you can finish it off however you
Yeah.
want.
And make sure to be careful and not touch it too much
Right,
and
you're
get.
gonna touch it like I did, and that's just how it
But if you
goes.
have an apron, then that works. It's easy to clean off.
This is definitely the reason why I wear it right now. Most of my clothes got ruined early on. We use bleach in our buckets to clean them too, so
Oh.
every shirt would have bleach stains on it. Okay,
Well,
so yeah,
tie dyes and
Right,
style,
I know.
just.
definitely. Yeah, so you can just keep going
Oh,
around
it's beautiful.
and
This looks awesome. Well, that's a wrap for today. Oh, here, let me
oh yeah, we need to hold that up, don't we?
show them, see what what do you think?
I feel like I need something right there, and
Right
then
there.
I'm gonna fill in the space part. for
Oh,
sure.
perfect. Let's do that then.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, so it's important to hold it out so that you can see and just perfect it.
you definitely can't get the right angle when you're working on it flat.
Yeah, you gotta just find an assistant, find a wreath assistant that can help you and hold it up for you.
So let's get some stuff down here.
It's been difficult.
Yeah, and I've always burned my fingers being a baby about it. Oh, look, I got glue on it.
All right, then.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, just little decoration on there.
Yeah. And then I see some glue on this pine cone. I'm gonna cover up with a leaf, yeah. There we go.
There we go, perfect.
Done.
All done. Oh, beautiful.
Thanks, hold that one up.
Hold this one up. Oh, perfect. So these are just two different examples. And you can make them look however you like. You can get creative with them. This looks beautiful. I love that. Wow. Well, Chandra, thank you so much for doing
Yeah,
this with
thanks for
us.
having
It
me.
was a
That was
blast. I hope our students, I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as we did. Again, go ahead and tune in for our Stay Fit kit that we have next week on November 3rd. Make sure to take a picture, tag SubWCTC. Also tag Flower Money on
Yeah, I
Instagram
would
so
love
that
to
she
see
can see all of
everybody's
your
reads.
creations. If you're interested in doing anything in your workshops, is that what you call them? Like,
Yeah, some of them are 21 and over. Actually, most of them are, but
yeah, you know.
And then we also offer private classes. So if you have a group of friends and you don't want to go out to one of those places, you guys can come into our studio and book out a time slot. They're definitely more popular during the holidays. People want to do like a little holiday gathering. And
Yeah.
they realize they're not able to do bigger
Yeah.
parties
bigger
this time of year.
ones.
So a minimum of 10 people, and you can bring in whatever food and beverage you want.
Oh,
And
fun.
it's about 2 hours here in the studio that you guys can hang out and chit chat, and we'll walk you through step by step either
Yeah.
a fresh wreath class or a fresh flower class.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah, so go check her out. Take a picture, tag us, and we will see you guys soon. Have a
great
good day.
night.
Have a good night. See you guys later.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys.